Okay. Again, Megraj with us for the mock interview. Okay. We will take another mock interview for Megraj. Okay, Megraj, can you tell me about yourself again to our audience?
Yes, my name is Meghraj Chavan. Recently, I completed my BCA from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad with 83%. And now I completed my core Java course from the Kiran Academy.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay.
So it's about my introduction.
Okay, no problem. We are going to take your mock interview on again core Java. Okay, this is just mock interview for
Yes.
your preparation. Okay, and what your audience which are seeing our interview, they also take advantage from this interview. Okay. So Megraj, can you tell me what are the OOPS concept present in Java?
Yes, OOPS concept, it is the main part of the Java. In that the OOPS concept class and the object are also involved. And in that the OOPS concept, and there are the four pillars like the polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction. These are also involved in that the OOPS concept. And so the Java is also the object-oriented programming language. So in that the OOPS concept, object, classes, all those functionalities are also involved.
Okay. Okay. Or what is object,
So it's
Megraj?
about, yes, object, it is also the entity, real-time entity. It's also the copy of the class. So without creating the object, we not access the class. So when we create the particular class, that time we will require to the declare their object. Through the object, we can access the class, all those functionalities means the variables method. We are also access using the object.
Okay. And what is reference variable?
So the reference variable are those variable, they carries the reference of the class. So when we are create the object, that time object are nothing but they carries the reference of the class. So it is
Okay.
the reference variable.
Why we use reference variable? What is the use of that variable?
The reference variable are carries the address or the reference of that particular class. So through the reference variable, we can also access their variables method.
Okay. So
For this
class
purpose, we are
functionality we
using
can
the
access.
reference variable.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. No problem. Megraj, what is the difference between global variable and local variable?
yes. The local variable are those variable they are declared in that the method, and the global variable are those variable they are declared in that the class. They not declared in that the method. And local variable, at the time of the local variable, we are initialize this local variable, but in that the global variable we not initialize it. And the local variable they are used within the method, they outside the method we not use this local variable, but the global variable are used within the class. So it is the difference in between the
Okay. Which is better to
global
use,
and local
Megraj?
variable.
Global variable or local variable?
Yes, global variable is better because we are used everywhere
Okay. And what
in the
about
class.
local variable? Why we not use
Local
local
variable,
variable?
because there are the limitation of the use. Local variable we are used within only the method.
Okay. 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 No problem. Can we make class as a private?
Yes, we are also create the class as the private.
No, no, Megra. Think again. Can the class will be can be private?
Mm, no,
Class
we not
cannot be
create the class as,
private. Class cannot be private. Okay.
yes, we not create.
Okay. Class can be final.
Yes, we are also create the class as the final. But when we are create the class as the final, we not create the we not create their child class of this class.
Okay. That means we cannot extend that class.
Yes, yes,
Okay, Megraj. Can you tell me if I create the class as a final? That means in
yes.
that class all the methods will be become final.
No, this method is not final. They are the normal methods.
That means you have to say if I create the class as a final, so we can override that methods.
Yes, we are also override these methods.
No, 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 no. Megraj, now you say we cannot extend that class. So how you override that methods?
Yes, yes. We not override
So
this method.
if the class is final, so method also become a final. Okay.
Final. Yes.
Okay. 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 No problem. Variable can be public, static, final.
Public static final. Yes.
Okay.
This is
Variable
the
can public, static, final, abstract.
yes.
Think
Yes,
again.
we are create as yes. We are
No.
creating the
Variable cannot be
interface.
abstract. Variable cannot be
Yes.
abstract. Okay.
Variable cannot be actually.
Okay. So again, interviewer might be confused that question. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, so Megraj, can you tell me what is encapsulation and why we use encapsulation? What is the purpose of that?
Yes. Firstly, we discuss the definition of the encapsulation. In that encapsulation, we are bind the related data in a single entities. Encapsulation basically used to the hide the data, and we are provide the securities to the particular data. So for this purpose, we are create the class, and in that the class we are create the variable as the private, and the method is created as the public. So through the method we can access this variable. So there are the security will be maintained.
Okay. And
Yes.
what is abstraction?
Abstraction, in that the abstraction we are hiding the description and provide only essential information to the user is known as the abstractions.
Okay. And why we use abstraction?
In that the definition we are see the we are provide the description and provide only essential information. For example, we are create the one method as the shape method.
Okay.
One method as the shape method. This is the abstract method. So in that the abstract method, we are not provide the definition of this method, and we are override this method. And in the future, means in their subclasses, according to our requirement, we are provide the definition. So which shape we want to require that time, that shape we according to that shape we are provide our code, and we are provide their definition of this class. So for this purpose, we are used the
Okay.
abstraction.
Okay. And what is object class, Megraj?
Object class.
Yeah.
Object and class
No.
separate.
Object class.
Hmm, I don't know what
We are having object
object
class. That is the
class.
super class of all classes in Java, right?
Yes.
Object class is the super class of all classes in Java. You know some methods of object class.
No, I don't know about
You know toString method. String method.
string method.
String.
Two two string. Don't know.
Okay, no problem. What is the difference between abstract class and interface?
Abstract class and the interface. Abstraction, in that the abstraction we are declare the normal method, and we are also declare the abstract method also. And in that the interfaces we are only declare the abstract methods. And in that the abstraction, in that the abstract class they are perform the 50% abstraction, 50% abstraction, and in that the interface they are perform the 100% abstraction. And in that the abstract class there are the constructor are present, but in that the interfaces the constructor is not present. So it
Okay.
is the difference in between the
Which is better to use, abstract class or interface?
interface is better.
Because it's provide
Inter
100% abstraction. That's why.
yeah, we are also use the multiple inheritance also.
Yeah, right. We can also achieve multiple inheritance. Okay, and what is difference between abstract method and normal method? We can say concrete method.
Yes, yes. In that the abstract method, using the abstract keyword, we are create the abstract method. But in that the normal method, we not use any abstract keyword. And in that the abstract method, we are only declare the method, means we not provide the body of this method. And in that the normal method, we are provide the at the time of the declaration, we are provide the body of this normal method. And the
Okay.
abstract method, allowed they are only allowed to the declare in that the abstract class and the interfaces.
Okay,
And the normal method,
you have to say that is abstract method have no body.
nobody. Yes,
So where we can give the body of that method?
in their subclasses,
That means we
in
have
their
to create
subclasses,
a subclass of that class, right?
and we are override this method,
Okay,
and then we are provide
we
body
have to
of this
override.
method.
Okay. What is the advantage of method overriding?
In that the overriding, we are modified this method. In that the overriding, the method name are same and their signature are also same, so we are modified their features. For example, we have the one class is the old Maruti class, and another is the new Maruti class. So in that the old Maruti class, one method is the gear method. So in that the gear method, they are only provides the 5 gears. But when we want to update this gear, so that time in their child in their another class, new Maruti class, we are override this method, and in that provide we are 7 gears. So when we are create the object of the new Maruti class, so when we are access this method, that time we are access the new modified features, means the new modified method. So for the modification of the method, we are used the overriding.
Okay, okay, great, great, great. And what is the advantage of method overloading?
In that the method overloading, the method name are the same, but there are the different signatures. So using one method name, we are achieve the different functionalities. So for this purpose, we are used the method overloading.
Can you tell me the real-time example of overloading where you have to see a method overloading?
Yes, yes. For example, we have created the three method as book ticket method. In that, the first method, we not provide any parenthesis. In that, the next method, we are provide the integer type of the parenthesis variable. And in that, the third method, we are provide the two parameter. One is the string and another is the integer. So when we are called to this first method, that time they are provide only the general ticket. And when we are called to the next method, that time they are provide the number of the general ticket. And when we are called to the third method, that time they are provide the according to the classes and the number of the ticket, they are provide the ticket. So using the one method, we are achieve the different functionalities.
Yes, yes, right,
For this
great.
purpose, we are overloading.
Okay, and what about exception handling? What is exception handling?
In that the exception handling, uh, it is the unwanted, unaccepted error problems are occurs in that the program, so they are break the flow of the program. It's nothing but the exception.
What is the
And for
hierarchy
this
of exception handling?
hierarchy of exception handling,
Yeah. Which class is the super class in exception handling? And what are the parent child classes of that class? I think throwable class is the super
so
class, right? Throwable.
yes, yes, throwable is the superclass.
Yes, they are having two subclasses, that is exception and error. Okay, okay. Just
Yes,
tell
yes.
me, what is checked exception and unchecked exception? Difference in between.
The checked exception is also called the compile time exception, and unchecked exception it's also called the runtime exception. The checked exception it's occur at the compile time, and unchecked exception it's occur at the execution of the program. And in that checked exception, these exception are mostly occurs by the programmer, and unchecked exception these exception are occurs by the system also.
Okay. And what are the examples of checked exception and unchecked exceptions? You know that?
Yes, checked exception, it's also called the compile time exception. So in that, for example, we not create that method and we are actually access this method, means we will call this method, that time the class not found exception or occurs.
Okay, okay. And
In
runtime
that time,
exception?
in that the runtime exception like the arithmetic exception, in that the arithmetic exception like the 0 divided by 3 divided by 0,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Number
it's
cannot
occurs
be
like
divided by zero. That time,
yes,
runtime
arithmetic
exception
exception
occur.
will be- yes.
Okay. What about try, catch, and finally?
Yes, try catch and finally they are basically used to the handling the exceptions. So in that the try block we are write the risky code. These code they are occurs the exception. So these code we are write in that the try block, and in that the catch block when these errors are occurs that time the catch, then the execution are goes to the catch block, and the finally block they are by default they are execute finally.
Okay, okay, Megraj.
So it's
Just
about the try.
imagine what happen if the exception handling is not present in Java.
Yes, yes.
What will
So
happen?
So we not handle the exception. So in that the console, there are only we are display when any exception are occurs, that time we are display exception message on the console when we
So,
are
so
run our
now
program.
exception handling concept present in Java, and we can achieve the exception handling. That means we can handle the exception. So exactly,
Yes.
exactly what is the advantage of exception handling?
So in that the advantage of the exception handling, according to our requirement, we are print our message.
Okay, that means
We
we
are
can.
also handle the exception.
Okay, okay, okay. Good, good, Megraj. Megraj, you know file handling.
Yes, yes, I know about that.
Why we use file handling?
File handling, that the file handling we are handles the files, means we are also create the file, we are also put the data in that the file, we are also retrieve the data from the files. So for this purpose we are used the file handling.
Okay, how to create file? Which method you have to
So
use?
create method, file create method we
Create
used
new
for the
file.
file creation
Create new
purpose.
file.
Create new file, create new file
Yeah.
method.
Which class method? This is this method. Which class? Create new
File
file.
class,
File
in the
class.
file class.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes.
how to write data into the file?
So for this purpose we in the output stream, we
Okay.
are used to the output stream. In the output stream, this is the abstract class. In the output stream, there are the two subclasses as like the file output stream and the object output stream. Using
Okay.
these two classes, we can write the data in the files.
And for reading data,
For reading data, we are used to the input stream. In the input stream, there are the two methods, file input stream and the object input stream. Using these classes, we are read the data from the files.
and what are the methods for reading data?
Reading the data through the object, we are the read the data like the object dot read method we are used for the reading the data from the file to the
Okay.
object.
Megraj, can we delete the file?
Yes, we are also delete the file.
Which method we have?
Delete method.
Okay.
Delete method we will use.
Okay. If I want to get the path of that file, so how can we achieve that?
So for this purpose, get get address,
Get
get address,
absolute path method, I think. Get absolute path method present.
get absolute path method. Yes, yes,
Okay. Then we have get name also. If I want to get the name of that file. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. No problem. Megraj, can you tell me what is collection framework and why we use collection framework?
Yes, yes. The collection framework, in that the collection framework are nothing but the collection of the classes, inbuilt classes, and the interfaces. So they are provide the ready-made frameworks. Using that ready-made frameworks, we are perform the manipulation on the data, collection of the data. So it's nothing but the collection framework. In that the collection framework we are used when we are compare the array and the collection frameworks, the collection frameworks is the more advanced. They provide the various features like they are the growable runtime, they are the growable. So runtime growable, they are also the shrink, their size will be reduced. They are also the growable, and they are provided the various ready-made methods. So for this purpose, we are used the collections.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay.
So they
And
are better as compared to the array.
okay. And what is difference between array list and vector?
Yes, the array list. In that the array list, we are also store the number of the data in the array list. The array list basically the asynchronous. Array list are the asynchronous and the vector are the synchronous. Array list are the thread unsafe and the vector are the thread safe. And in that the array list, using the iterator, we can access the each elements of the array. And in that the vector, using the enumeration, we are access the each elements of the vectors.
Okay. And which collection as provides the duplicacy? That means we can insert duplicate element.
Array and the linked list, they are to allow to the store the duplicate elements.
Okay. And what about set? Set
Set
interface?
not allows any set is not allows any store the duplicate elements.
Okay. Can you tell me what is tree set? What is the functionality of tree set?
In that the tree set we are store the elements, but in that the tree set the duplicate data is not allowed to the store. Tree set are also the synchronous, means they are the thread safe, and in that the tree set by default the sorting order will be preserved.
Okay.
So it's about the tree set.
Megraj, you know hash table?
Yes, I know hash table.
Okay, a hash table class. Can you tell me what is use of hash table?
So using the hash table, we are also store the element in that the hash table. We are also store the elements in that the hash table. So it's also the growable, and it's also the growable, and the duplicate data is not allowed in that the hash table.
Can you tell me
So for this
hash table? That means which interface hash table implements to the which interface?
hash table is the
Map interface, right?
map interface.
Okay, so we
Yes,
can insert elements in hash table as like key and value pair.
key values.
Okay,
Yes.
hash table can contain any duplicate key or duplicate value.
Hash table, they are not contain any duplicate key and the duplicate they are contain the duplicate value, but they are not contain the duplicate key.
Form.
Yes,
Okay. Hash table can contain null key or null value.
no, they not contain.
Any one at least one null key or null value.
No,
Yeah, right.
no
Hash
contain.
table does not contain any null key or null value. Is it hash
Yes,
table is synchronized?
hash table hash table is also synchronized.
Yeah, hash table is synchronized class.
Synchronized.
Okay. Fine, Megraj. Can you tell me the some methods of string class?
String class. Yes, in the string class as like the dot string dot to uppercase to lowercase method,
What is the
length
return type
method.
of
Using the length method,
length method of string class?
return type is to the integer.
Yes,
Means
integer.
they
Length
are
method
written the
provide
size
the
of the
size
string.
of string. Yes, right.
Size of
Okay.
string.
Megraj, Can you tell me what is array?
Array are the collection of the similar type of the element. They are stored in the they are stored in the
Similar type
heterogeneous
of
they are
elements, similar data type of elements.
similar data types of the elements.
Okay. Okay, you know the concept of JDBC?
Yes, I know. I have some basic knowledge about the JDBC.
Okay, explain. What is JDBC?
JDBC is the Java database connectivity.
Okay.
So for this purpose, JDBC will be used. Using the JDBC, our program to our database, we are perform the connections, and we are also create the tables. We are also insert the data in the tables, and we are also delete this table, delete in this data, and we are some update. We are perform some changes in that the tables of the database using the JDBC, and we are also store our data in the backend, means the in databases
Okay, Megraj,
using the JDBC.
what are the steps? What are the steps to connect the Java application with database by using JDBC?
Yes, yes. In that, the firstly we are load the jar. Firstly we are load the jar, means connect the jar to our project, and mm, then we are connect our project. Uh, then we are connect. We are provide the absolute path, means we are load the load the jar. Nextly
Okay.
we are load the jar, and
Yeah.
thirdly we are use the prepare statement for perform the query pass. In that the prepare statement we are pass the queries, and thirdly fourthly we are execute this query, means the operation are performed on the database, and fifthly we are see the result using the result set.
Yes.
So this is the
Right.
six.
Whatever you are said that is also right. But which class, which interface is help to the connect Java application to database? You haven't said. They're having a
So for,
get connection method, right? Get connection method
yes, yes,
for the
git connection
give
method.
the we have to give the URL, then username of the MySQL, password. Okay, and
User password,
which
yes.
class method? Get connection is which class method?
Prepared
No.
connection, only the
Driver
connection.
manager class. Driver manager
Driver
class
manager,
having static
yes,
method that is get connection, which is return the
yes,
connection. Okay, we have to store the
yes,
in that
yes,
the connection reference. Okay, okay, no problem,
yes.
Megraj. Before that, we have to create the statement object by using create statement method. After that, okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
no problem, Megraj. I just share my whiteboard to you, and I will give some task to you. Okay, you have to just
Yes,
tell me what is the output. Okay,
yes.
okay. I will share my screen. Okay.
It's visible.
Okay. Megraj, can you tell me the difference in between that? If I create the variable as like, okay. Mm, just a minute. I will open the screen. Okay. Okay. Per case. 1 minute. Is it valid, Megraj? It will give output or any error. Yeah, if I print this out A, it will give output or any error. Can you tell me?
It's provide
Hmm?
the output.
What,
Provide the
Megraj?
output.
Yes, it will provide output. Okay.
Output provide. Yes.
Okay. If I give a static int, okay. Okay, I will take another variable. Nagraj,
Yes.
what is the difference between these two variables? That is, one is A and second one is B. What is the difference in between that?
So in that the first variable we are use the final keyword. In
Okay,
that the next variable we not use the final keyword. And in that the first variable we not change this variable value
okay,
because they are final. And in that the next variable we are change their values because they are the static variable.
okay. That means we can change the value of variable B, but we cannot change the
Yes,
value of variable A because it's final, right?
final. Yes.
Okay. When we make a variable as a final and when we make a variable as a static.
So when we not required to the perform any changes in that the variable, that time we are used the final variable. And the static variable when we are used, so when we are required to the use this variable in a limitation of that particular class. So without the object, so the when we are create the static variable, so the without the creating the object we can access this static variable using the class name. So for this purpose we are create the static variable.
Okay, 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 no problem. And if I make
Yes.
a variable as a, um, can I access this variable outside the class, Megraj?
Yes, also access the outside the class, but the child class can be access this.
Okay. Can I directly access?
Directly access in that particular class, but the outside the class use access in the child class.
Okay, okay, no problem. Mm, okay, Megraj, for example, if I have class A, okay, class A having a method that is, Megraj, what will be the output? I run this program. So what will be the output?
Output is not comes. No
Uh,
com
what will happen?
uh, Errors occurs.
Which error and why?
Mm, Class not found error because B through the B class object we can access this M1 method and the B class is not present because B is the capital and we see in that the class B is the small and the class A is the
Yes, yes,
capital.
yes. Okay, okay, okay. Class name cannot be small, but okay, okay. You have find the error. Okay, okay. Good,
Yes, yes.
Megraj. If